everybody, so we've got a fun review today as we're discussing Zoey 102. Now, Zoey 101 was one of the many different shows during that golden age era of Nickelodeon television that I did watch a lot of. Zoey 101, iCarly, Drake and Josh, Victorious. There are so many other shows, but Zoey 101 never was my favorite amongst all of those shows. I was always more impartial towards iCarly and Drake and Josh, but I always had fun watching the show until it abruptly ended. So having this sort of reunion movie all these years later could be an interesting stepping stone to just getting some sort of closure for this franchise, but also just getting to see these characters once again. Over a decade since Zoey 101 ended, Zoey 102 finds Zoey Brooks still trying to figure out life and love, this time after her and Chase never ended up in Hawaii that summer and have never spoken to each other ever since. But when Quinn and Logan announce they're getting married, Zoey and Chase find themselves in the wedding party. As we all know by now, nostalgia when done correctly can be pretty effective, even on Paramount+. We've seen resurrections of some of these other shows already, like iCarly, which has been extremely successful. I love what they've done with that show. So trying to replicate that formula again, now getting this reunion of the Zoey 101 cast, there is some novelty in getting to see a good chunk of the Zoey 101 characters together again after all these years. Zoey, Chase, Logan, Quinn, Michael, etc. But the execution of this reunion doesn't really bring that much to the table in terms of substance. It's truly a shame that Zoey 102 pretty much lacks all of the charm and fun that made us like the original series so much. The majority of Zoey 102 is very paint by numbers, utilizing a wedding as a catalyst to bring everyone together, but hardly is bothered to do anything with the majority of the cast outside of Zoey and sometimes Chase. Given the fact we haven't seen the majority of these characters in an extremely long time, over a decade, you would hope to get to see their backstories fleshed out and see them grow as characters, but this film never really bothers to do any of that whatsoever when they do reunite. There are a handful of decent moments of seeing them together, reminiscing about the past to PCA, that get a few laughs here and there, or when they go out on the town and do karaoke, but the usage of all these different characters in Zoey 101 is strange because a lot of them are heavily underutilized for this being the big reunion. Michael has a few scenes that are okay. Logan doesn't really have much of a personality. He kind of just pops in here and there to kind of act like a simp towards Quinn. Stacy and Mark Del Figolo are in this for some reason as true crime podcasters. Out of this entire bunch of characters, the one that I found myself liking the most actually was Quinn. She is the one that actually had a decent amount of development, although at the end it didn't really go mostly anywhere. Then at the forefront you have Jamie Lynn Spears reprising her role as Zoey Brooks in this, and I've never been a big fan of Jamie Lynn Spears as an actress, and that kind of rings true once again in Zoey 102, because for the most part, I think her performance here falls very flat. Honestly, the way that they showcase Zoey Brooks in this film comes across kind of depressing. Seeing her end up as this awkward, not very likable recluse stuck in the past, trying to balance this work life with her love life, even going as far as to hire an actor to play her boyfriend to make Chase jealous at the wedding. The majority of her stuff just doesn't work for me, even as we try to inject this comedy into the story. Because at one point in time, Jamie Lynn Spears was actually pretty funny on Zoey 101 and all that. The jokes here, though, they are mostly just cringe. The humor overall got worse and worse as the film went on, as we see Zoey trying to juggle working on this horrible reality show and being at this wedding at the exact same time. All of the stuff with the reality show I did not like at all. I think it just is a big waste of time most of the time. Longtime Zoey 101 fans will agree that one of the most intriguing things about this show was the will they, won't they romantic escapades between Zoey and Chase. And the way that they intersplice that into this wedding story, I think it comes across mostly awkward and kind of downright sad, much like with Zoey Brooks as a character. What it truly boils down to in the movie is that it just feels very forced. The way they force them together into these different situations at the wedding and ways that they try and bring up their past romantic feelings, there's just no spark. I don't think that either of them have any romantic chemistry. The movie tries to make you feel like they have some romantic chemistry still, but I'm just not buying it. I'm not gonna let this movie gaslight me into thinking that they should be together by the end of the movie. All this romantic stuff with Chase and Zoey is extremely awkward in context, given the fact that Chase goes to this wedding with a girlfriend, so it kind of just makes Zoey once again look like a pretty terrible person. It's honestly kind of hilarious how the movie retroactively tries to make it seem okay that they're trying to explore their feelings despite him coming with a girlfriend. Usually I have no problem following a movie or a TV show where the lead of it is objectively not a great person, but Zoey 102, it's just a tough thing to watch because despite the fact that Zoey does a lot of things in this that are objectively the wrong choice at the wedding or the job, there's no growth or true consequences in the end for doing all these terrible things. She still gets the happy ending at the end, and I feel like, I'm not saying that she needed to have a bad ending per se, but there was just not a lot of growth. This movie definitely feels like a first draft of a script, and they weren't really sure exactly on how to bring these characters back believably, since the movie's runtime is padded with unnecessary random moments to make it a feature-length film. A lot of the stuff involving the reality show that Zoey works for, Love Fully Charged, just didn't really need to be in the movie. I didn't mind the characters really all that much, but I could have went without that. And along with the fact that they go back to PCA very briefly towards the end, mostly just for a big Member Berries nostalgic moment that kind of falls flat. Zoey 102 is the exact wrong way to capitalize on a nostalgic property. It offers next to nothing exciting for longtime fans of Zoey 101 to witness this reunion of these characters, and leaves an unsatisfactory feeling seeing these characters again. There's nothing about this that really left me happy by the end of it. I guess, sure, you get some sort of conclusion for the romance between Chase and Zoey, but I don't think it was well worth it. Even the wedding we go to between Logan and Quinn was a big waste of time by the end of the movie. But now you've heard my thoughts, though, on Zoey 102. I don't recommend watching it, even if you're a fan of Zoey 101. Share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the movie if you get a chance to check it out? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Share your thoughts down below in the comment section. The part of the fun is to have that conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys, as always, chat videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video, and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. For next time, I'll see you guys later.